Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to see all of you. So today we're going to talk about the last book of the Bible, which is the book of Revelation. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you what this book is all about. There are a lot of people that don't like this book because they say it's confusing or it's too hard to understand. But you know what? It doesn't have to be hard to understand if you know the main message of this book. So let me just give you a few points that will help you to understand the big picture of the book of Revelation. All right. Number 1, John, who is the author of this book, was exiled on the island of Patmos. This book was not meant to be a prediction of the future, but rather it was written for the encouragement of the church during times of persecution. This is very important to understand because throughout the whole book, when John is having his visions and he sees these things happening, he always applies it to the church in that time. And let me also add this. The audience of this book were Jewish Christians that were being persecuted by the Roman Empire. And more specifically, they were being persecuted by the Roman Emperor Domitian, who claimed himself to be a god. And that's probably one of the reasons why there's so much talk about judgment throughout the book of Revelation. Okay, another point. The book of Revelation uses a lot of symbolism. In fact, the whole book is filled with symbolism. So it would be best for you to read this book with a good study Bible that has a good commentary on it. Let me also tell you this. The book of Revelation is the only book in the New Testament that has 6 seals. Every other book in the New Testament has 7 seals. Now, why is this important? Well, the number 7 represents completion or perfection throughout the whole Bible. And the number 6 represents imperfection. Imperfection. You can't have a perfect number divided by the number 6. Okay, so that's something else that you need to keep in mind while you're reading the book of Revelation. Another thing you need to keep in mind is that John uses the number 3 multiple times throughout this book because the number 3 represents completeness or fullness. For example, in chapter 1 and verse 18, it says this, "I am Alpha and Omega, says the Lord, the beginning and the end." In the Greek language, the word Alpha is the first letter and the word Omega is the last letter. Therefore, Alpha and Omega means the beginning and the end. And then in verse 22, it says this, "In the right hand of him who sits on the throne, I saw 3 angels." Okay, so there's 3 angels there. And then later on in chapter 4 and verse 8, when John is in heaven, he sees 4 living creatures that have 6 wings each. But you see here, these are not 6 individual creatures. No, these are actually 24 elders. Okay, because 4 multiplied by 6 equals 24. And so John is saying there are 24 elders surrounding the throne of God. Let's go to the next point. Another truth that you need to understand about the book of Revelation is that the main character in this book is Jesus Christ. Some people try to make the Antichrist the main character of this book, but no, the main character of this book is Jesus Christ. If you want to find out more about the Antichrist, check out my video on what the Antichrist is. And finally, the last point that I want to make about the book of Revelation is that yes, it does speak of future events that will happen in our world, but it also speaks of spiritual realities that are happening right now. And sometimes those realities affect us more than we think. Now, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I would love to hear from you in the comment section below. What is your favorite verse in the book of Revelation? And also, if you've watched all my videos, which I know some of you have, what is your favorite video that I've done? I would love to hear from you. Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying these videos, and I hope you've subscribed. But if you haven't, click the subscribe button right now so you can be notified every time a new video is posted. And don't forget to share your comments below. We'd love to hear from you.